This is going to be a Patreon first and subscriber first video. Let's talk about what's going on. I'm not going to get in the details of all the charts, but there's a couple things that came to my attention. Maybe I'm delusional, or maybe I'm an evil genius. We shall see. First of all, BNB is still above $1,100. One of the biggest recovery artists of this whole move. Is that because it has less ties to the institutional finance, as we saw stock market sell-off, post-market sell-off, Trump tweet came out about tariffs, and then we had the liquidity crisis with Bitcoin and ETH that spurred everything? I don't know, but Binance season is not over based on what I'm seeing with the chart here. If we look at other things, the number one best recovery that I have seen, at least out of all these that I follow, has been the ones that start with Z. That is Zcash and Zen. The privacy narrative is coming back in full force. I thought this was a crazy run up here, and we gave a sell around 147 to 160, and this thing continues to run, and you can barely tell there's even a liquidity crisis on this chart as the narrative around privacy continues. Now you have Barry Silver talking about ZEC, and remember, Grayscale does have ZEC products, Zcash, for many, many years. They also have a ZEN product by Horizon for many, many years. Horizon also a very good recovery, kind of trying to follow in the footsteps of ZEC. Much smaller. It isn't a true privacy coin, but they're still working with ZK Snark privacy features. You can see Rob Viglione did an interview with Anthony Pompliano last week talking about some of those feature sets. And I think this is why it's been following ZEC, because it does fall into the same privacy sector. They are working on IRL products that provide shielding to the users, whether it's identity and or wallet. And again, they do have a Grayscale product, just like ZEC does. I mean, this thing went down to 650 right to support and has bounced all the way up to 1285. This is after we already did multiple posts and live shows saying, hey, this looks like it wants to break out of a 6-month consolidation to the upside with a target of $20. It indeed broke out, hit $18, and then we had that flash crash, and it's getting back up here to 1284. So a narrative and sector to keep an eye on is what is going on with ZEC and privacy. Will other assets such as ZEN, maybe a Pivx, I don't even know what other privacy coins are out there, will they catch a bid as well? These two are multi-cycle tokens that have fought early inflation. That inflation is now tampered down much lower, and they both have Grayscale products, and Barry Silver is now talking about ZEC. Does he talk about Zen soon, sending this much higher and catching up with Zcash? Remember, Zen is a much smaller market capitalization, so higher risk, but higher upside potential. Now into the trenches. The BSC season was very short-lived in the meme coins. 2 days so far. Unless you believe the season isn't over and the meme coins that got hyped up still are holding higher levels. Is BSC season over, or do we have another rally? Let's look at what's going on here. I'll get back to MEFAI here at the end. So Ni Hao, not one I got involved with, but BSC, Binance Super Cycle, down here off the lows after the liquidation crisis, making a rounded bottom, and actually had some good price action earlier today, giving up some of the gains. But again, higher lows and higher than where all this craziness started. Maybe I'm crazy, and maybe you can see these green lines here. I did nibble additional ads to these. So those of you guys who never participated in the meme season because it happened too quickly, or kind of faded it, liquidation crisis, everything else, maybe I'm not crazy. And at $2.5 million, maybe it's worth a swing. We also have 8. This one is at 70,000. Remember, this is the lowest conviction play, but at 70K market cap, still active on Twitter, maybe worth a swing. Yellow Pepe. This one was one of the best looking charts before the liquidation crisis, and it has come all the way back down to original breakout support, but again, higher than where it previously started, and trying to hold the levels here today. This chart does not look as good as the BSC chart, but the narrative is there, the activity is there, and this was the best, most organic looking chart before the BSC meme season was declared dead just 2 days after it started. Maybe worth a look. Now, one that we made the absolute most amount of money on, besides the last one I'll cover, and still a tiny market cap, is BNB Season. This one, obviously, we made big gains. We sold 50% of our position, but you see a green line here because, man, for $3.5 million market cap, they just keep popping up on my feed. They are being very active. They're getting centralized exchange listings. They're trying to get on Binance Alpha. They're trying to apply to different things. They're trending on DEX tools. I mean, if this market gets a footing and BNB recovers and BNB season truly isn't dead, this one checks a lot of boxes, and I think it could be highly undervalued. Again, $3.5 million market cap holding levels, much higher than where it all started back here. Remember, we got in at 750K market cap and watched a wild ride. Keep an eye on BNB season. If you still hold some of your bag, because we only sold 50%, I would keep holding. If you never got involved, maybe worth a swing. Pup is one that we never got involved with, but has been ingratiated into, I think, Aster and maybe Binance Alpha. Decent looking chart. Again, not involved with it, but this is one that you guys can do your own research on. And then Palu, where it all started. We made a fortune on Palu. We only have like a 10% moon bag left, sold 90%. But again, big drawdown. Hold much above where it all started. And it's kind of showing some progress after yesterday's collapse. I mean, Palu, I don't think is going anywhere. I don't know if I want to chuck more money in because it is already a $32 million market cap. And if you're doing these small positions, but, I mean, Palu is the most organic one, the one that could have that $250 million, that $1 billion meme season potential if the BNB meme season truly isn't over and we still got a 10% moon bag of Palu. Maybe worth adding, maybe worth getting involved. I mean, so that's kind of my thoughts on what's going on with the charts. I just wanted to pull this up and look at these as they are flatlined, but every single one still has a higher low than where it started. And has had nice rounded bottoms, some green candles, some activity in the face of this liquidation crisis, even with BNB still $200 or $300 off its all-time high, which shows me that, hey, maybe Binance Smart Chain, maybe BNB meme season, maybe the Binance super cycle is still underway, and maybe if you faded the trades or you missed the trades, this could be a lower risk opportunity to, hey, I'm going to get involved because I like what I see. Now, these things could continue lower. The BNB meme season could be over, but I think all the ones we went over today have some kind of footing. They're either already listed on Aster, they've hinted at being listed on Aster, they have the ability to get on Binance Alpha, they have interacted with CZ himself. They have something going for them that could allow them to survive, and I checked all the socials. In the face of that liquidity crisis, they all stayed active, and they're all getting new milestones. CoinGecko listings, CoinMarketCap listings, centralized exchange listings. Like things that are quite impressive for, $1.5 million to $30 million market cap projects. They're staying active, and they didn't run away with their tail in between their legs when we had this scare over the past couple days. So let me know what you guys think. This is Patreon first video, subscriber first video, going over the trenches, also focusing on the narrative around Zen and ZEC. Let's see what's going on there, and the strength of BNB. Okay, what is MEFAI? I told you I've been listening to CZ in Spaces, and he believes the bull market is not over and the next narrative will be AI. He also said that there's been no good AI projects available under current construction on BSC network. This just launched, and launched after he said that in the Spaces, and today they did a full write-up driven by AI on the liquidation crisis, and CZ himself did tweet about that. You're saying, hey, good thread, and pointing to it. Obviously, massive green candles have occurred on this chart. $7 million market cap. I mean, it's hard to say, hey, chase here because it was, virtually just launched a few days ago. Very low valuations, and this is a massive move. You see like 4,000% gains. But CZ, you follow the breadcrumbs. Once new AI on BSC says there's nothing good as is, this launches a day or two after that. Then he quote tweets their thread about the liquidity crisis that just happened. Also, I looked at the token economics of this based on usage. Like you can pay monthly to utilize their AI suite. You need these tokens. And out of the monthly pay, it's like 25% of it goes to as a referral bonus, 25% of it goes to the project, and like 50% of it is burnt out of supply. There's already a lot of supply being burnt up. So does this shout out by CZ mean maybe he's endorsing it? I doubt it. Maybe it gets a Binance listing? Possibly. I doubt it. But does it get more users that can buy and burn the token over time? Now that sounds more likely. Again, hard to chase green candles, but wanted to put it on your radar so you guys can do your own research on MEFAI.io. Go to CZ's thread, see what his tweet was, see what they're talking about, and maybe, just maybe, MEFAI could be that AI play that CZ's been looking for. Alright guys, I'll talk to you later. Peace.